Thank you, sir. It is our proud privilege to have with us an eminent leader, philanthropist and technocrat, Mr. Pratul Shroff, as a chief guest of the 9th convocation of Ganpat University. Mr. Shroff is the president and CEO of eInfochips, a top-notch product and semiconductor engineering services company.
Shri Pratul Shroff has steered eInfochips in 1994. Today, eInfochips employs 1,300 plus professionals across 10 design centers in India and USA. The company is catering to key industries like aerospace and defense, security and surveillance, semiconductor, consumer devices, medical devices, retail and e-commerce, and software products. eInfochips recently won the Frost & Sullivan Company of the Year award.
Mr. Shroff holds a bachelor's degree in electronic engineering from Birla Institute of Technology and Science, BITS Pilani, and a master's degree in the computer engineering from Cornell, USA. Sir has also earned an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad.
Sir has worked for Intel and Daisy Systems in USA. At Intel, he was a part of the 80186 processor design team and was one of the founding engineers at Daisy Systems. Mr. Shroff also believes in giving back to the society. His NGO, K.R. Shroff Foundation, provides education support to approximately 10,000 underprivileged students in North Gujarat. He also contributes to initiatives like Visamo Kids, a home for underprivileged children, and Yuva Unstoppable, computer education to 100 plus rural schools.
In June 2014, he was awarded for visionary leadership in the ICT sector by Geisha. His leadership has been exemplary and instrumental in building the technology services ecosystem in Gujarat. Mr. Pratul Shroff was also awarded the Outstanding IT Entrepreneur of the Year by Mr. N.R. Narayan Murthy, Chairman Infosys. Apart from this, Mr. Shroff is the Chairman of Core Group of Information Communication and Technology for the CII Gujarat State Council. Government of Gujarat has appointed Mr. Pratul Shroff as a Chairman of Board of Governance for the Government Engineering College, Gandhinagar. He is also a member of the Academic Council for DAIICT and Ahmedabad University.
As I said earlier, it is indeed a proud moment to have you with us, sir, as the chief guest of the 9th convocation, and on behalf of the university, I am privileged to invite you to bestow the convocation address. Please, sir.
Patron-in-Chief Shri Ganpatbhai Patel, distinguished Board of Governors, dignitaries on the dais, faculty members, students, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all of you. Thank you. It's a matter of honor and privilege for me to deliver the 9th convocation address of Ganpat University. It gives me a great pleasure to be here on this beautiful campus. I didn't even imagine how beautiful the campus is till I visited just about a week ago, and share this special moment in your lives. Today, almost 2,612 students will graduate, and a new chapter will begin in their lives. So this indeed is a very special, emotional, and rewarding occasion in your lives. And let me see if I can make it a little bit more memorable next 15 or 20 minutes. And I'll try not to be too boring. That's always the danger for the speakers if you kind of stress too long. So holler if you think it's too much. This generation is Gen Y students who are born among the most disruptive technologies in the history of the human race. We don't realize, but the changes are really, really non-linear. What has happened in the last 20 years? Everything that got invented in the last 100 years got overpassed. And the pace of change of technology probably will continue, if not increase. So which means that in the next 10 years, there will be more changes that has happened in the last 20, 25 years. And in that sense, the entire world, the economy, the sciences, the industries, everything is very, very disruptive. And if you take a few examples, quite a few of you live to be about 100, 150, or 200 years. And that's not only technologically possible, but it will be financially possible as well. Man and machine is going to become one. A scientist called Ray Kurzweil, who is with Google, has predicted that we will enhance our senses, our perception, our memory, our brains by anywhere between 50 and 100 times in the next 20 years. Chances are very high some of you will start living on Mars. Extraterrestrial living beings will be discovered in next 20 years. New materials will change the manufacturing almost totally. So when such massive disruptive changes are happening, what are the things which are required to be successful in life? And whatever my life has taught, I'll try to give you 5 magic mantras for those who are interested that I learned along the journey of my life. The first and the foremost one, in my opinion, is taking the ownership of your life. Somewhere in our society, it has become very common to make others responsible for our life. अपनी जिंदगी का जो steering wheel है, हम किसी और को दे देते हैं. So why are you an engineer? Because my parents told me to be an engineer. Why are you a doctor? Because my aunt told me. Why are you going in pharmacy? Because my best friend is going to pharmacy. And somewhere this is to change. And that reminds me of a story. In an industrial plant, there was a boiler, and one day there was a huge explosion. The boiler फट गया एकदम. तो प्लांट इंजीनियर को बुलाया, ये भैया क्या हुआ? तो बोला सर मैंने बॉयलर ऑप्शन में छोड़ दिया था. अब in real life, unfortunately, this is not going to work. You can't leave the boilers in the option in real life. And by the way, if you think your parents have the answers for you in the life, I'm sorry to say, and parents are going to hate me for saying that, probably you're wrong. Because with the kind of changes that are happening, they have no clue what's going on. You know how to operate smartphones 100 times better than I do. So there is a danger in following their blind advice. As you step out in the real world, you must take charge of your own life. You must grab the steering wheel of a car called your own. That is your life. You are, of course, a generation which is much smarter, much more mature, much more knowledgeable than my generation. And at the end of the day, please realize it is your life. And you are the best person who knows you. And therefore, you are your best enemy and your worst friend. Or your best friend and worst enemy, whichever you want to look at it. And either way, you'll be right, by the way. So, my suggestion to you is that look yourself in the mirror with brutal honesty, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and take the charge of your life. Take the ownership of your life in your hands. You decide what you want to be. That brings me to the second bullet, second mantra. You are unique. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. There are 6 billion people in the world. No two individuals are alike. And for whatever reasons, we are always worried about what others are doing and what others are saying. So when we are at school, we are about, tere ko kitna mark mila? When we graduate, what kind of job you got? You will always ask your friends or the people around you. Or once you are inside a job, in Infosys, this is a very common scenario. As soon as the annual performance review happens, once the reviews are out, people gather. तेरे को कितना increment मिला? तेरे को कितना increment मिला? ये सब चलते रहता है. But at the end of the day, nobody gets happy. So by comparing yourself to others, you're not going to get happy. If chances are, you're going to get upset, you're going to get jealous, which are going to distract you from your journey and your goals. So forget about the others, stop comparing, have your own dreams, have your own wishes, have your own objectives, and relentlessly pursue them. Which brings me to the third point. Think big and dream big. Always cherish larger than life dreams. Have huge inspirations. As inspired to be a Ambani, inspired to be a Steve Jobs, dream to be a Narendra Modi. That actually reminds me of a story by Shahabuddin Rathod. एक जंगल था, there was a lion and there was a monkey. Lion सो रहा था, सिंह सो रहा था, सूतो तो વાંદરો વાંદરો છે તો વાંદરાને અટકચાળા કરવાનું મન થયું તો કે આને એક લાફો મારીએ તો કેવું સિંહને જોઈએ તો ખરા શું થાય છે અને એટલીસ્ટ મારો વટ તો પડી જશે કે કોઈ વાંદરાએ કોઈ સિંહને કોઈ દાડો લાફો નથી માર્યો તો આપણું નામ લખાઈ જશે ઇતિહાસમાં. લાગ જોઈને વાંદરા તો માર્યો લાફો સિંહને દોડ્યો તો આગળ જાય વાંદરો ઉભા કરતો ને પાછળ સિંહ અને વાંદરાને કૂદકા મારવાની ટેવ ને ઝાડની સથવારો એટલે જલ્દી ભાગ્યો અને આગળ પહોંચી ગયો. એના વળી બુદ્ધિ સૂજી તો એણે ક્યાંક છાપું જોયું તો છાપું લઈને બેસી ગયો છાપાની પાછળ. થોડી વારે સિંહ આવી લાગ્યો. સિંહને ખબર ના પડી વાંદરું કાં ગયું એટલે એને પેલો આજે છાપું વાંચતું હતું કોઈએ પૂછ્યું કે તમે કોઈ વાંદરાને જતા જુઓ તો વાંદરાને એટલી બધી કીર્તિની આશા એટલે એણે કહ્યું કે કોણ પેલા જેણે સિંહને લાફો માર્યો એ. The point is that you have to have the craziness to do crazy stuff. And you have to dream big. Only then you will channelize your energies to make things happen. And of course, you have to work hard for it. You have to put 150%, 200% of your sweat, blood, and perspiration into it. પણ સિંહને લાફો મારવાનું સપનું હંમેશા રાખવું. That's very important. When I was 10 years old, that was the dream I had. That I want to be rich, I want to be known in Ahmedabad, and I had no idea how I was going to do that. And trust me, nobody knows how they're going to do it either. But nature, universe conspires to bring your dreams to come to pass. If you are passionate about it, and if you really stay steadfast in the pursuit of the dreams. So after 50 years of being around the world, I settled down in Ahmedabad and gradually grew a company called InfoChips. So if you go home taking only one take from this, it's to be that monkey. Sine lafo marwanu hamesha yaad rakhjo. But once you dream something, you have to be passionate to follow it. And there is a saying, do what you love what you do. You got to ask yourself, what is it that you really like to do with your life? What is it that you enjoy? What you are passionate about? And your parents may hate it if you are an engineering student and if you don't like engineering. But I will tell you that if you don't like engineering, don't do it. If you are in pharma, you don't like pharma, don't do it. We all have seen the movie Three Idiots and the message given by Ranchod. And we all know the story of Chatur also. So luckily we don't have Chatur here on the dais. But it's very important that you really follow your passion. Because only then you'll enjoy what you're doing day in and day out. And since you are going to be 100-year-old or 200 years old, life is going to be very long. And if you don't enjoy what you are doing, it's going to be very boring, tired, uninteresting, and you don't want that. There is something else that also I've seen happening in various lives. If you do something that you are passionate about, money will happen to you. Money will become a byproduct. But if you chase money, chances are you'll get tired. It's not a given, but a lot of times that happens. You get tired and you don't enjoy what you are doing, you don't get money also. Okay, so we have the dream, we have the passion. And now comes the hard part. Because you have to be persistent and you have to be patient to get where you want to get. Because life is a journey, long journey. For our generation, maybe 60, maybe 70, maybe 80 years. For you guys, 150-year-old journey. So you have to buckle up and pursue your dreams and your passion with all your energy, focus, and discipline. And for years, you will need to be persistent and patient. And that's not easy, but that's the secret of success. Don't get distracted by what the other guy is making. And don't get distracted by, I want car today, jaldi mil jaye to acha, wo job mein paisa acha hai, kyun na change kar le. Because if you keep changing the goalpost, you're never going to score the goal. Simple as that. I've seen too many friends in Ahmedabad who, when the stock market is booming, they get into stock market. When the real estate is booming, they start being builder. Then they start the restaurant business, and they don't succeed at any of that. And the reason is that they are not patient enough, they are not persistent enough. And that reminds me of a story, another story. So and this is an old story, so your generation won't know this. लेकिन पहले used to be arranged marriages. शादी हुआ करती थी, लड़की देखने, लड़के देखने, whatever. तो आप लोग एग्जाम में बैठते हैं तो लड़के और लड़की भी एग्जाम होती है, शॉर्ट लिस्टिंग होता है. So for a guy who was of the marriageable age, marriage was getting arranged. The parents shortlisted 2 girls and एग्जाम लेना शुरू हुआ. इंजीनियरिंग डिग्री के लिए एग्जाम होता है तो लाइफ पार्टनर के लिए तो एग्जाम होता ही होना ही चाहिए. So one of the tests was, mother was very smart, as usually they are, and said, जो लड़की सबसे ज़्यादा water boil करेगी, that will be the selected one. So they got the gas stove going and got તપેલી પર પાણી ઉકાળવાનું શરૂ કર્યું. એક છોકરી છે ને થોડી વાર આમ પેલું ઢાંકણું ઉઠાઈ જોયા કરે, પાણી ગરમ થયું કે નહીં, પાણી ગરમ થયું કે નહીં, પાણી ગરમ થયું કે નહીં. And the other one was very patient, very quiet, just sat there. Guess whose water boiled first? So there is a virtue in patience. All of us get impatient, even I get impatient. But good things take time. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes years. And the perfect example of all the things that I'm talking about is Ganpat Pai here himself. So he's a crazy guy. All the things he has done in his life, he'll be the first one to say that. And along with the craziness and dreaming, I'm sure that he was very patient and very persistent in nurturing his company called Cherokee Power Supply for almost 30 years. 30 years is a long time. And especially when you are 21 or 23, that looks like several lifetimes. But after 30, 35 years, and that's what it takes sometimes, most of the times, his company got listed in USA for about $600 million. And he's in that window seat that he talked about, distributing money, upar wala ka. That's because that 35 years of tapasya that happens. That requires hard work, that requires patience, that requires persistence. And unfortunately, all of that you start understanding, like me, when you go above 50. So this knowledge, I hope that some of you take home and think about this day when you get impatient, when you think of giving up your dreams. Along with that, 2 more things which are very important in whatever we are doing, at least in my mind, is what I call the performance and the perfection. And a good example of that is the Japanese culture. So we had some Japanese customers, and I was always curious about the Japanese culture and the degree to which they seek the perfection. So we are going by Law Garden, there was a car, and we were talking about the quality and perfection, inspection, these type of things. So I asked him, he asked me that, Pratul, do you see that car? I said, yeah. And it's a brand new car, right off the dealership room. So do you see anything wrong with it? I said, no, I kind of looked around for 30 seconds, 1 minute, no, I don't think, not a scratch, not a dent, no nothing. He said, I see something different. So the license plate was slightly slanted. And for him, it was not even acceptable. And I was like, wow, we don't even notice this thing. And Japanese characters, even if the license plate is slightly wonky, thinks that it's out of place. So that's an example of the perfection that Japanese cultures kind of ingrains into you. There was a joint venture between General Motors and Toyota. And Toyota was starting a plant in Fremont, California. And, and some of the parts were being imported from Japan. So General Motors, it's a car company, basically asked for 6 million parts. And it never happens that all the parts are up to the mark or with the perfection. So they always have something which is in quality jargon called Sigma. And they specified that, so in essence, they specified that 6 million parts. And if it's okay if 600 of them are defective. So when the parts came in, there were 2 different bags. So one part had 6 million parts, the other had 600 parts. See, we don't understand what you're saying. Here are the 6 million parts that meet the specification. And by the way, you asked for 600 defective parts. So in this separate bag, there are 600 defective parts. That's the quality, that's the perfection. And everything you do in life, you have to strive for that perfection and for that quality. It's very important because at the end of the day, your dreams will be realized only through this. If you look at InfoChips, when we started 20 years ago, I started with 1 engineer. Has it been an easy ride? Absolutely not. Have there been failures? Too many to count, one after another. And I keep facing them on a daily basis. And that's when that persistence, that patience is required to overcome all the objections, all the hurdles to meet the goals and to meet your destiny. So there is always sweat, blood, struggle, and incredible of our hard work that goes behind whenever you see a success case, whether it is Steve Jobs, whether it's Narendra Bhai Modi, whether it is Ganpat Bhai, or a small guy like me. So let me conclude by summarizing the 5 things I talked about. Number 1, take the ownership of your own life. Number 2, you are unique, so don't compare yourself with others. Number 3, think big and dream big, like the son of a tea stall owner, Narendra Bhai Modi, or Steve Jobs, or Ganpat Bhai. Be passionate, do what you love, and love what you do. And number 5, be persistent, patient, and pay attention to performance and perform. So let me conclude by saying that if you follow these 5 bullets or 5 magic mantras, as I call them, there is no way you will not succeed. I'm sure there are other ways of success in life too. This is one of them, and it is guaranteed if you implement them on a day-to-day basis. So once again, my heartfelt congratulations to all the graduating students.